Your eggs scrambled to fertilized. Come on, what do we got?
Oh my gosh. Well, that night I'm coked out, fucked up, and she's like not carrying me, but like she wants to fuck. She knows the mission and she wants to accomplish it. I'm just like along for a ride, just like, all right, if you want to take home this like black drunk dude, that's fine. We get to her place, nice as fuck as I remember, and right away she just like throws me on the bed and just starts nomming. She actually like puts her finger up my butt, and that wakes me up. Like that sobered me the fuck up, because I
gotta be ready for that.
Like it doesn't seem so, but I'm an actually nice Christian boy. Like I was raised in a Christian house.
I just meant like, did you have Mexican before this happened?
Oh no,
Mexican or Indian? You don't do that when the finger's going up the butt, and if it's less than 3 knuckles, it's not gay.
I did have African food, and I mean that's pretty much the same type of stuff.
Oh shit!
And
literally. So you get the finger up the butt. You get
finger
this
up
crazy
the butt,
chick,
and
aggressive.
I told her like straight up, I was like, no, like don't
Christian.
ever do that ever again. I'm Christian.
Are you a doctor?
And she surprisingly was really good at getting it up, because I'm drunk on coke. Like
You have to overcome science and chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Years and years of evolution.
Yeah.
Being conquered at that second. And she was a fucking soldier. She got it done. She fucking got my dick up. I was not unconscious, but conscious enough that it wasn't rape, and I was enjoying it. And she made me bust in like 45 minutes.
That's good, man, because we were talking earlier about like how sometimes it goes on too long and we both got to fake it a little bit here and there. It's the lactic acid math. You're sitting there in a permanent push-up, you're thrusting, and then it's like your pecs start getting sore, and you start doing, it's like a word problem. It's like, when is the train going to come into the station versus when's my muscle failure going to happen? And you can't solve for X, and I just go, thank God for condoms, because that, there's evidence when you finish, you know what I mean? So if you can hide that shit.
And I'm a fucking athlete, so I can go for, hours before muscle failure, at least, and it just gets awkward. I don't get the muscle. That point.
I try to and here's the problem: like when they hook the legs, around you, it's like super sensual. But then you get the negative resistance on the reverse thrust. It's like you're fucking a Bowflex. Spread the legs, point the toes.
Yes,
I can't say it enough. It's a PSA, ladies.
I'm glad this is universal.
Yeah, it needs to be said. And so you're partying, and then you're playing rugby, but somehow you end up in a bar. How did that happen?
So it was weird. We went to Federales, which is in Rhino area in Denver. And
that's River North for the listeners that aren't in Denver. People in Denver are in a rush. So there's Lower Highlands, Low-High, River North, Rhino. They just can't say the whole fucking thing. But anyway, it's like Tribeca for Denver. Go for it.
And it's it's my roommate's birthday, I believe. Yes, it's Brady's birthday, and he has a couple girls that flew in, and they're just getting way too wild. Like I haven't even met them yet, and they're already cocked at 3 p.m. on a Sunday. I wish.
Chicks brunch aggressively on Sundays in Denver. It's fucking aggressive.
And this is my first experience. I moved to Denver probably last March 2021.
Okay.
Around that area. Around that timeline. And so we sit down at the outdoors area. It's probably June or July, summer. And the owner of the security company, his name is Michael. He pulls up to us, and we're just like, who's this old white dude coming up
I know him.
us?
He's hilarious. Yeah, go ahead.
He's like, hey, so you guys live here? You guys been here for a while? And I see you guys got some big ass dudes with you. And it's almost like he doesn't notice me as being one of the big dudes. So I'm like, hey, I'm big too, And he's like, do you guys want a job? Not a job, but like a small gig. I know you guys are professional athletes and everything. And we're like, yeah, money is tight right now. This is before I got my big contract, where I just 2 weeks ago I signed a 3-year contract.
Fuck yeah.
Which I'm very proud about. I'm finally getting noticed for my craft.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that.
And Michael just says, hey, like, you guys can make up your schedule. Federelli's had just been open for probably 2 months. So it was buzzing, a bunch of CU fucks coming in, like, just causing mayhem. And
don't hold back. How do you really feel?
How do I really feel about you guys? Oh, God. Are you guys going to be listening to this?
No, nobody listens to this podcast. Say whatever you want.
But we go about the day, but like Michael's always like on my shoulder, you know, encouraging me to consider the job. And I finally say, all right, bet. Let me take your card. Let me take your number. I didn't come out here to do any business. It's my buddy's birthday, but fuck it. They keep not rattling about it, but they keep like itching at my ear about it because, you know, I'm one of the higher paid guys, but still not getting a lot of bread. And some of my guys are just
everybody needs a side
starving,
hustle, man.
Starving.
Everybody needs a side hustle.
So I look up for the boys and I pass around the card, and you know that's how rugby is. It's like a social networking block where you know someone helps you out. It's almost like a fraternity in a sense. And basically, Michael, hey, I want you to be one of the lead guys. I know that you're probably a leader on your rugby team, so come along to Federelli's. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Like, we literally thought it was going to be a 2-day relax. We can just do this on the side. We do Monday through Friday practices with 2-a-days and a gym session every morning at 8 a.m. and then a film session at noon, right? And, like, that's a lot. After the day, you're just blown out. We probably get out at, like, 5 p.m. And Michael expects us to get off at 5.
Then you go to work?
Yeah, get off at 5 and then
dude.
Show up at 7 p.m. at Federelli's and deal with these drunk folks, right? But I'm a wild boy. I'm a wild card.
You can hang.
And I say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'll do three days a week. And
I trust him. We pregame before the podcast. He can hang.
And I just jump into it like a swimming pool. And some of the crazy stories and
yeah,
crazy
what do you got? You
experiences.
seen some shit? Throwing out some people? Seen some weird shit?
I mean, you probably want... So I work at Avanti's now. I used to work at Federelli's. You probably don't want the ending.
I'll take whatever.
All right, we'll start at the beginning of how things were. We had these USA rugby players come through, and they needed jobs because they were staying for a camp for like 3 weeks. So we put them onto the Avanti crowd. Michael's like, all right, you're going to be the head guy. You have to make sure these kids are like on point. They can't drink, none of that.
Yeah, whip them into shape.
And you have to understand rugby culture. It's very diverse. You have people from all over the world playing rugby, and that's the great thing about it. You know, you got Polynesians, especially in the U.S. is typically Polynesians. We're trying to get the African Americans heavily induced into it because we're, I don't know, pretty good athletes, but heavily Polynesian. I heard this fucker. So heavily Polynesian. A lot of the skilled positions that require kicking and whatnot are probably heavily Caucasian. But anyways, Polynesians can
specialists.
Yeah, fact. Like, hey, I need a fucking captain to run these minorities. Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
So you're with Mike. You guys are working Federales.
Yes. Anyways, we get these guys jobs, and the Polynesians just, I don't know, they don't know how to act. Like
Not cosmopolitan guys?
No.
It's like first time in the city kind of shit.
They party hard as fuck, and one of them has the greatest idea, and he says, I'm going to bring a liter, or do they do liters of... All right. He brings a liter of like vodka in with them, and he slides it underneath his pants. And on shift, these guys are like swinging it around. And what they do in like Samoa and Fiji, they do this thing called like kava, and it's basically like a kava plant, and they knock it down part of the plant, and they soak it in water and get all the ingredients out of it. And it's not like it gets you high, but it gives you like a nice body high and just calms you down.
Okay.
Right? So, but the ritual of kava is like you take a sip of kava and you pass it around, right? It's like a cup.
How do you get me in on this?
On the kava? You want some of the kava?
Fuck yeah, I do.
You can actually buy it in the States. Like,
I want to do the whole ritual thing with the guys.
Yeah.
I want to have the full experience.
I got you.
All right, let's do it.
100%. They would love to check out your pad. Anyways, they're doing that ritual where they're passing it around, so you have to understand, like, it's almost like CrossFit for drinkers. Like, every minute on the minute, they're passing it around, just sipping. And I don't notice, but the managers do. And the managers can't do too much. These guys are massive, and it gets to the point where you got guys sitting down on their shift. You got guys just dancing, and I'm trying to like talk to them and like direct
guys,
them. Hey, like don't do this, don't do that. I'm getting pissed, and I had to fire them on the spot. Like literally, like get the fuck out of here. Like as if they were customers. It was the most embarrassing thing ever.
You had to fire your security staff.
I literally had to fire 3 of them. Oh god! And then I had to drive him back, so it left like 2.
Fuck you guys, get out of here. Also, we're gonna leave at 2. Just make sure you're near my car.
I left 2 guys on staff on a Saturday night, and it was just wild. And
how awkward was that car ride? Jesus.
It wasn't awkward actually. It was a fun ass car ride.
Was it fun?
I was away from my professional environment, so I could actually enjoy it with them. I was like, dude, I understand. Like you're young, you're wild and free, and you're in Denver. Like, you've never been here. Like, you were in Samoa probably like 2 months ago. Actually, because a lot of like Hawaii, for example, we get a lot of good athletes from there, and they'll go straight from the islands to the U.S. to play rugby.
It's like sensory overload. They're like, what the fuck do I do? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fucking me.
They don't know how to act, like you said.
Yeah, me fucking traveling in 2000, flashback 2000 as a 3-year-old in Africa, and now I'm in this...
The whitest city in the country, by the way.
And I didn't even know. Concord, New Hampshire. Fuck. That's probably the lightest. I don't want to go too deep into the Federelli's realm because it's just me being serious and me being a dick. But I got kicked out of Federelli's and eventually had to plead my case to Michael and on what happened so I could get a job at Avanti's. But basically I was, posted up near the bathroom, and we had this huge party bus come through. These 2 girls that, blonde, brunette, my type without doubt, pull up on me, and I'm just like, serious. You have to understand I have a military background. We can get into that later on. But I was at the 82nd Airborne in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, before I started my professional rugby gig again. Anyways, I'm just being mad militant, and they bring out the camera, and at that point I'm just like, yo, stop. And she's like, oh, but like she's your type, like she's Latina and she really wants you, And I'm a wild card.
You're a man.
I'm a man.
You're fucking working security. Yeah.
I'm a man. But I didn't budge, but she forced, like she harassed me. She came on to me and made out with me. But once tongues start kissing tongues, I didn't just yank her away. And that's the part that my manager didn't catch. She was just watching the minutes before I pushed her away. And she's like, oh, you can't do that in here, not while I'm managing. She tells me to get off the floor on the spot. I went back, as a customer, just to check it out, and
saw some stuff.
I could tell how aggravated they were that I was there, because they're like, oh, we just fired this guy, but we can't tell him to go. And I was like, can I still get my employee discount? And they're like, nah, hell fucking no. But anyways, the
Sexual harassment. Let me tell you about harassment.
Yeah.
Harassment so much to me, I couldn't wait to grab it again. Oh! Sorry, go ahead. So anyway, the girl.
Play on fucking words.
Welcome to Punderdome.
My dumbass. He always challenges me with these words, and I'm like, almost like a protege. I'm trying to pick up on a bunch of stuff that Greg is pitching out, because he's an open book, and I didn't know he was like this. I didn't know there was more. I just saw
the guy
this
that slings drinks. Yeah.
I just saw this old dude
this old dude. It's hilarious.
But just dropping comedy and dropping play on words to the customers, and just being so fluent with his delivery. And it wasn't like he was even putting on an act. It was the fact that was just his personality. It's like, yeah, I need to tap in. And he saw me from across the bar and was like, I think we're on the same.
Oh yeah,
same level.
Gravity worked. I was like, oh, this guy is a fucking maniac like me. You can always spot a fellow maniac.
Fucking maniac. I wouldn't call myself a maniac.
Well, I know you wouldn't.
A controlled maniac.
All right. Oh yeah. No, of course. I've kept the job for 6 years. I'm a maniac, but still, you handle your business.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
It's like a subdivision.
Yes.
We have a whole fucking enterprise, and It's almost like DC with the League of Justice.
So what's the weirdest thing, or like the most uncomfortable thing, or just like the funniest thing you've ever had to like diffuse insecurity? Like, you must have seen people like, just girls going into the bathroom 4 at a time. They're obviously fucking partying. Like, you're just like, come on. I mean, like I couldn't do it, man. Like, because I see people